For today's video, we're looking at a North African crossbow, which is very similar and based off of medieval crossbows. We actually picked this up at a antique store. We're going to make it a little bit easier to handle. It's most likely that the crossbar is older than the rest of it. They would repair stuff pretty extensively once they had it, but it does look hand forged. There's a line right here where several of the steel layers that were hammered together, and on the other side there's if you look real close you can see a couple spots there. The ends here are one piece. They would hammer this flat and then curve it around, and kind of see, get the light right and get it close enough, the layer there with the one ear folded over the other. This side has a little bit of damage on it, but same deal. Other part, the frame or handle part, is similar to German designs in the back. The front is a lot wider. It's made of some kind of real light fruit wood, which is probably why it's so wide. The wood's not as strong. The European ones were made of hardwood, and they would only be probably as thick as this metal sheet here. This, I think it had ivory here. It had one piece here that's either ivory or bone. This piece here looks a lot more like ivory. This is probably, we're not sure how old it is. It's sort of hard to guess. Since it could be up until the 1800s or even farther back. But you can see all these little holes here. Those are wormholes from little worms and little bugs that ate the wood. Kind of gives an idea to how old it is. This bottom piece here, old square nails in it. They would cut these from a sheet of metal with a chisel. That's how they would make their nails, cut little wedges. Don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you can see the square heads on the nails. It's got these wormholes. There's a few on this piece. See some there. The other part of it has considerably more. A lot of times when they fake antiques, they'll drill little holes in the wood so it looks like it's got wormholes. But this one, you can see where this chunk is missing out of the stock. But the holes go all the way through the wood, and then it's also got some termite looking damage on it. The handle pieces are hand forged, at least this piece is. That spring might be a newer one cut out of something. This piece is hand forged. This piece, what little you can see of it, looks hand forged. It's got a spring either out of place or broken, because that piece should be forced down, or it should be clicking down instead of pushing back. It's got, here's an original hand cut nail or screw. It's got kind of a mishmash. There's this one back here is a old screw. They've got wood thread, or it's called wood threads, which is older. But other parts of it have more modern screws. Like this one's a machine, look like machine made screws. On the back it's got one that looks like a machine screw, and then looks like an original handmade screw. This piece is a sight mechanism that's pretty crude, and it's got a few repairs. That's a later repair made out of a bolt or something. That's a newer screw, and this one right here is another one of those handmade screws. Had a little mechanism that one time would go up to be able to sight. These two screws look newer. The latch mechanism here, this is where the string would bend onto. It's got two steel pieces on the side, and then the center part looks like it's ivory. It has a little metal block here, and that's pretty common. The ivory is a lot harder than wood, so a lot of times they would use that in the medieval times and when they were making these. It's got a little bit of damage here. There's a very slight slot carved into it, and I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's a couple rub marks where the wood's been rubbed from the string hitting it when it was fired. That's another giveaway that's original, not a reproduction. It's got a little bit of ornamentation here, which these were probably ivory. There's this spot and one on the other side that look like they're ivory. Well, actually, this one looks more like it's bone. The other one looks like it's ivory. This one's probably a replacement. You've got the square bit here where the crossbar goes, and it's got square cut nails in it as well. And this bar looks hand forged. It's a little bit rough, but we have no idea how old it is. Like I said, they copied medieval crossbows in North Africa.